Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
Well, just like the title said, this is part 2 of the Big Ed Ritchie 60 Minutes of Fear. Fear standing for Figure 8 Auto Racing here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Good evening. Welcome the final time here in 2025, the finale of season number 6. My name's Caleb Hart. He is Ben Iman, and heck, we threw a curveball at you tonight. 3 guys in the booth until we banish the Derek Todoroff, our favorite amphibian, down to go run Stinger 8s here on the night. Going to be a fun show. We have got our Super Stock Figure 8s leading us off for their 60 Minutes of Fear. We have got the Stinger 8 30 Minutes of Fear, of which Derek will be a participant, so we'll lose him during that, and we'll finish it off the World Championships of Bus Racing here at Evergreen Speedway on the night. Guys, it is going to be an abundance of fun here tonight. We will get our second 60 Minutes of Fear in and more, and we have got a starting lineup to bring to you here for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s in their final race of the season.
They will be led out by a very fast front row. Chevy Vincent pilots the 45 out of Darrington, sponsored by Pro HNS. Starting next to the Cowboy, John Carlson in the 36. He's out of Monroe, sponsored by Rev Up Energy. Mackenzie Dietz, your season champion, pilots the 67 out of Monroe, sponsored by BECU. She'll start next to Blaine Manning in the 11. He's out of Marysville, sponsored by Be Happy Carpet Cleaning.
In row number 3, out of Stanwood, McCarthy General Contractor sponsors the 17X of Rick Yargis. 2 Ricks outside, it's the 5 of Quentin Borison out of Aberdeen. He's sponsored by Mary's Towing. Row number 4, Hunter Jenkins is the 85, the sponsorless, hometownless driver, and the 43 of Sheridan Vincent out of Darrington, sponsored by Pit Innovations. And the final row, Captain Chaos himself, it will be a whole bunch of Jacob Funk here tonight. Car number 8 out of Mill Creek, the PNW Traffic Control and Supply sponsored entry. Well, we've got a little bit of time before we go racing. We need to take a second to thank All Ply Roofing. All Ply has been our season-long sponsor here on Home Track Heroes. Without them, we wouldn't have been able to split this into 2 episodes or even bring you 2025 season number 6 of Home Track Heroes. A unique night tonight here, Derek. First time that we, in recent memory, at least for me, we have split the Super Stocks and the Outlaws. Now, we had a couple of Super Stocks driving with the Outlaws in their 60 minutes, but the Super Stocks get their own individual 60 minutes of fear tonight.
Yeah, the big deal here tonight is not just the split, but both getting 60 minutes. That is the big deal. And 9 drivers out here chasing that coveted 60 Minutes of Fear title. And to do it, they're going to have to tick off exactly that, 60 minutes of racing. Not just 30 like in years past, full 60.
With a slimmer field than anticipated, they could be in for a lot of laps here tonight. They could really be stressing their equipment, Ben.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how long these tires can hold up, how long your mechanical parts of the car hold up. It's been a long race season, too, Caleb. I'll be watching for things like brakes, tires, and potentially anything else that could go awry in these cars.
And let's just keep in mind, driver endurance as well, because 60 minutes, it's going to be a lot of hard racing, a lot of cornering. We're up and underway. And it is the Cowboy, John Carlson, driving the Bill Fleischacker own number 36. He'll jump out to the early lead. He is looking for a rebound out of his Outlaw Figure 8 performance because, Derek, that Outlaw Figure 8 did not go nearly as long as Cowboy wanted it to.
No, it did not. If I remember correctly, he did not even make the main event, unfortunately.
Made the A, but got splatted.
Yeah, very quick run for Cowboy. I think, did he eclipse 10 minutes in the new one? Ever since bringing that car back from Indy, championship night, he had the struggles, wasn't able to make it out, and then the 60 Minute of Fear event got nailed in the intersection. So Cowboy, I think, would love to pick up a win here in the Superstock division and at least right off the end of his year with that.
It'd be a big redemption run for him. Number of drivers also ran the 60 minutes in the Outlaws. Of course, Cowboy had the Outlaw underneath him. We saw that 36 car also run, but it was Bill Fleischacker in it running as an Outlaw at that point in time. And Dietz also put her through as well. So those cars already with a little bit of stress on them coming into tonight as Quentin Borison trying to make an early move to the outside of Blaine Manning. Manning, who had an eventful week last week, as we saw his Hornet car go out and run the Hornet Nationals. So busy couple of weekends here for Blaine.
Yeah, very busy couple of weekends for Blaine as he's motoring that 11, trying to keep it up, but he's going to get real loose. A tank slapper there. He's trying to keep the car underneath him. Oh, and he plays little nose damage to the Uke tire, trying to get the car back underneath him. We stay green for now, waiting to see when. a caution flag might fly you, and it looks like we're good. Blaine will stay out there, but now we got to see what's under the hood for what's left for the 11. What kind of damage is that going to do, and is that nose going to affect how he's driving this car the rest of the way?
Very well could. Hoping for no damage. Big thing you're definitely hoping for, don't break the radiator in this one.
Yeah.
You need this car to stay cool over the course of this long, long race. Sure, we're saying it's an hour long, but should a red flag come out, really would throw a wrench in your plan.
By the way, these cars are designed, too. You see most of them without a nose piece on them. Yes, they got the big, gigantic bumpers in the front of them, but those radiators, very susceptible. I mean, it is not hard. We do a really good job of keeping Evergreen Speedway clean, but say a rock gets onto the track in the right spot, other than a very small grill screen, it doesn't take much to ding up a radiator fin if one of those rocks gets through.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is to start having your engine overheating on you. That'll surely spell the end of your day early.
Taking a look from the Brandy Hood Promotions in-cockpit view of Chevy Vincent. That's on the right-hand side. Big thanks to Brandy, who completes another season with us here on Home Track Heroes tonight. I think she said that she accumulated something like 17 billion in-car shots over the course of it.
That sounds about accurate.
Yeah, about
so.
about 2.5 years worth of footage in 6 months. So, well done, Brandy. Thank you again for everything that you do and for all the help that Saxon and Ashley give to you for getting these in-car footage shots. They help us a ton. Really, they help the drivers a ton too, because they learn a lot by watching them.
Now you'll note here already, just about 3.5 minutes into this race, lap traffic starting to play a role in the form of Hunter Jenkins and Jacob Funk. Not a massive one so far, but as this race goes on, as the field spreads out and those speed differences become more and more evident, you could expect it to really shake up your lead pack.
For sure, and you definitely don't want to end up in the intersection early. Obviously, Cowboy can tell you a lot about that, as we were talking about, but as this race goes on, as the field starts to spread out a little bit, you want to be able to buy yourself enough time, get forward enough that you don't have a car so close to you that if you need to check up drastically for the intersection, it's not going to allow the car running behind you to slingshot around you. Right now, both Borison and Vincent doing a good job keeping Cowboy in their sights.
Both of you guys had a chance to head pit site pre-race, talk to some of these drivers, the crew guys, the car owners of these beastly machines. Did anybody tip their hand as to what they were thinking for setting the car up for such a long endurance race for these guys? Were they going to try to snug it up way early and hope it came in just right later?
Yeah, I think drivers were expecting a little bit of a longer haul. Had a couple drivers tell me, like, look, we know that we have some cars down for the count, some mechanical issues during the week, kept some drivers sidelined. I know there's one or two even more in the pit boxes, Caleb, that came out and were not able to start in the A-Main tonight, the end of the season. So I think drivers are expecting to run a handful of laps and know that this race is going to run long, and it may or may not be as chopped up as they're hoping. So playing for the long run is definitely in the cards for some of these drivers.
And, I mean, a lot of those front runners are focused on what our car has at the end of the race. Some of these drivers, like Jacob Funk or Hunter Jenkins, your primary concern is just make it to the end of the race. Put on a show, experience more of this race car, and just get a knowledge of it. I was talking with Hunter prior to coming to the track, and then, of course, here at the racetrack. He expressed just an excitement to be running this race, and the goal is survival.
You think about it, and for a young driver like you who's about to get some pretty significant seat time themselves, there's a lot of laps coming up here. 60 minutes, that's a lot of chances to own your craft and get some very valuable seat time.
Well, and while it affects someone like me who's never done this before more than one of these drivers who's been doing it all season, there's a degree of stress to it. You are a little worried about what's going to happen next, what happens in this race. You're in the car for such a long period of time. How do you navigate a situation like this? You see two lap cars in front of two of your lead cars. What do you do? What's the right move, and will you make it at the right time?
Looks like Chevy Vincent picked the right lane to get past that lap traffic as Quentin Borison almost using the Jenkins and Funk car as a basketball-style pick to pick up that second position, but it was Vincent, right place, right time, to keep his roll going. You can see Vincent Part 2, that's Sheridan Vincent, the 43. Brady McKenzie Deeds currently running in 5th position, your season champion, as they'll make it past the Funk and Jenkins trio themselves here about 7 minutes into this race.
Yeah, we were riding on board there with Ricky Yargis in the 17X. You saw Blaine Manning poking his nose all over the back of the 17X, looking to start to pick spots back up after his contact with the Uke early cost him some spots, and I'm not sure exactly where he lands. Again, how quickly drivers go down laps in this race. Maybe one of the few races where you can go down laps and actually have a chance to make them up if one of your competitors winds up wadded up somewhere.
Everybody's still running. It is the top 7 who are currently on your lead lap still. We have seen Funk and we have seen Hunter Jenkins go down a lap. There is your leader, Cowboy Carlson, and Yargis, no, make it Manning, looms ahead of him, and Yargis is right there. So your leader threatening early here, 8 laps into it, as the intersections start to get a little busy. Putting some cars a lap down and giving himself some pad.
Yeah, so Blaine Manning's definitely in this situation to realize he's going to have to get up on the gas, and he's going to have to make a move and try to run away. With the leaders coming back so quickly, you can no longer wait around. It looks like we had a car in the infield there for a moment. Borison's trying to get all over the back of Chevy Vincent. The young gun has the one-arm bandit all around him. Borison giving him a little bit of a tap, trying to push him up half a groove. Trying to make this move stick now. Can't quite, as he has to fight back on the outside here in the run back to the North Pole. And oh no, Hunter Jenkins is stalled and in a slightly precarious spot. And well, we're going to get our first caution and our first break.
All right, yellow flag is out around the racetrack. Sure looks like your leader had gotten past Blaine Manning somewhere in that exchange as he was working up on the back of the 17X of Yargis, and we see that there it was Jenkins and Funk who had both gotten together in that exchange, and that's what causes our first caution of the 60 minutes. A chance for us to reset, catch our breath a little bit, but also a chance for that field to contract, because they're going to be starting to nose to tail as we come back to green flag action.
Yeah, it'll be good for everyone to kind of bunch up. We'll see here. Now, Delaware-style restart, so Cowboy will have the front row all to himself, and so Vincent and now Borison will be alongside each other, so give this advantage to Chevy as he'll have the inside in the run of the South Pole. But now Quentin no longer having to come from behind and try to get Chevy moved. He now gets to start right alongside him.
Interesting spot here for Vincent as he's going to theoretically have the inside coming into the right-hand set of corners. As we get back to green, can he string Borison far enough along the outside to not give him the advantage? And a love tap there at corner exit will ensure he takes second.
Yeah, and here comes Sheridan Vincent now into the picture. Mackenzie Dietz battling it out with Blaine Manning. Borison, after that push, now having to fight back to hang on to third. He will, but now Quentin Borison's going to have to try to run down Chevy Vincent. A nice little elbow there. That move is what allowed Chevy to hang on to second. We'll go aboard with Ricky Yargis again, now running behind Dietz and Manning. Looks like Blaine Manning trying to make the pass on Mackenzie Dietz, and Chevy Vincent trying to keep Cowboy within an arm's reach.
+2 spots for Manning on that restart, Derek.
Really going his way, and I almost wanted to mention the fact that drivers like Sheridan Vincent, Blaine Manning, this is their big opportunity on restarts like this to try and make something happen. Make a move stick when everyone's all bunched up, especially Manning, who had that early problem at the top of this race. This is a huge break his way.
Derek, you've seen more of these 60 minutes of fear than Ben and I have on a personal basis. Does it feel like this elongated race and the 60-minute format really is going to benefit a guy like Quentin Borison with as much experience as he has and as patient as he can afford to be during this race?
I think the patience is much more valuable in this sort of race than experience, but I do think that experience can give you that necessary patience. As we see Rick Yargis heading back to the pit area, not sure what happened there, but a driver like Chevy Vincent, he's playing a very patient game so far, despite the lack of experience as compared to the 8-time champion on his back bumper right now.
Done a really good job so far of holding Borison off, and Borison has been there to apply some massive pressure. You can see body panel, it's that right front fender of Vincent that's already kind of flapping in the breeze. We're going to see how long that can handle, as it's got 48 more minutes to go here if Chevy Vincent is going to continue being a factor. Although you can lose a body panel and still be relatively okay, but so long as that panel is not getting into the tire, that's going to be the big factor. We haven't seen any tire smoke or anything like that coming off, but it's already loose. We'll monitor that as the race goes on, as you continue to watch the battle for second.
Yeah, this is a really tough track to pass along, and drivers will tell you how hard it is to try to get to that second groove, or move, if you can move a driver even just half a groove up a little bit, how you can create opportunities to pass. And you can see that's where Borison is using his speed, just not quite able to get to the back bumper of Chevy right now, and Cowboy just a little bit of a couple car lengths up the road, and Borison's going to give the 45 a bit of a bump, but Quinton's going to, he's going to give him the love tap. He's going to push him, lean on him a little bit, but he's not going to just flat out, drive him up and out of the track. And Quinton knows, 47 minutes still to go in this thing. No need to move a driver like that now.
Riding along with Mackenzie Dietz on the right side of your screen, applying the pressure to Sheridan Vincent, as this duo not too far away from the 45 and the 5.
Only one really breaking away is Cowboy at this point in time. His 2nd through 5th are stacked up like little houses out in the housing complex, just one in a row right after each other.
Really got to wonder if that's going to bite him later. Tires not typically a massive concern in a figure 8 race. This is a much longer figure 8 race, and I hate to jinx it, but only one caution in, about 15 minutes in. It's pretty easy going by figure 8 standards.
You look at it, that means a lot of time turning at speed here amongst the first 14 minutes of the race. They're on the 970 tire, which we used to have our Pro Late Model division on. The Pro Late Models have switched off into the slicks, the ST1s or different. Hey, Jacob Funk making a cameo appearance in that one. We'll talk more about tire wear. We've got lots of time still left in this race, but it is something that we're going to consider and keep in mind as we get a battle for second here. Borison, door panel to door panel with Vincent.
Like Vincent bottomed out into that corner, still goes his way as Vincent the Elder trying to make a move now on Quinton Borison, but they all go back single file. We approach the 15-minute mark.
Chevy Vincent, a good recovery there as he allowed Borison to get side by side with him as they were making their right-hand set of turns, or down here in the South Pole. Well, you see the tile, that means it's time to go to break. We have got more from the 60 Minutes of Fear here for the Superstock Figure 8s next on Home Track Heroes. Welcome back to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11, our program brought to you all year long by All Ply Roofing. I'm Caleb Hart. I'm in Derek Todoroff, the 3-man booth here for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8 60 Minutes of Fear. Up front, it has been all John Carlson. First 15 minutes of this has been John, who's not even in picture right now. You're watching the battle from 2nd through 5th. Chevy Vincent trying to hold off Quinton Borison in the 5, Sheridan Vincent in the 43, and Mackenzie Dietz in the 67.
Yeah, starting to approach into this picture, guys. Blaine Manning just tailing off the back of these drivers and starting to make his way forward. Has driven up well through the field and has been managed to stay on the track. And here we go. Borison finds a hole, makes the move, and finally gets around Chevy Vincent. Man, he's been trying to get that for 10, 12 minutes now. I feels like that might be a big move for Borison. Here comes Sheridan Vincent. He's going to have the inside run on his son here now. Maybe Chevy, maybe tires aching on him a little bit. Did he go a little too early, too soon? No, we mentioned the tire game in this, too, guys, and we'll say not all these drivers entered with 4 fresh tires. Some of them only had a couple. It's what came out of your inventory. So also interesting to see who had fresher tires left over for the full run.
Derek, we're a quarter of the way into this run timing-wise. I approximately 30-plus laps already, the length of a normal main event for them, and some of these drivers got to be feeling it.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be aching. You're going to be starting to just feel that physical side of the fatigue of a long race like this. But you also are recognizing you're only a quarter of the way done. There's a lot more still to come, and I'd argue the biggest thing, you don't want to start making the big moves yet. You don't want to let Cowboy get away. You're not just going to let him drive off into the sunset. But you don't want to be pushing the car too hard because you don't know how much more you have out of it. Some of these drivers, these cars haven't run 60 Minutes of Fear before. For some of these drivers, there's been a lot of changes to these cars since their last round.
So I'll play devil's advocate with you here for a second. There's no guarantee that they're ever going to get another break, another caution, another chance to kind of catch their breath and reset here. Our division has been really clean this year in Superstock Figure 8 racing, and these guys have been putting a lot of quality laps down already. There's nothing to say that they're ever going to get a chance to gather it back up, let the tires cool down, and go for it here. We could, theoretically, see 43 minutes straight here to finish this race off.
I'd say what I'm thinking if I'm one of these drivers is I see where you're coming from, and I think you're correct in many ways. But Cowboy's been pushing his car this entire race. You could try and push it to the same degree, or you can try and just run consistent laps a little bit slower than him now and hope that at the halfway mark that turns into your favor.
I wonder if that's a little bit of what we're seeing right now, because Chevy Vincent has backed up 3 positions. He went from 2nd, and now he is all the way back in 5th as both Sheridan Vincent and Mackenzie Dietz just here in the last 3 laps have made passes for those spots.
Yeah, Caleb, watching the Brandon Hood Promotions on board, you can see how much he's having to fight the car. He's having to adjust the wheel. We talk about this with late models. When we get those onboards in their hands and we watch them through the turns and how little they're having to adjust the wheel in the turn. They don't want to be scrubbing speed. Looks like Chevy, the back end, stepping out on him a lot, having to fight it, it feels like, through the turns. It looks like he is fading unless he can try to figure out some on-the-fly adjustments.
Yeah, look how much ground he lost just after Mackenzie got by him a lap ago, and there's already 3-4 car lengths in between them. There's a look at the leader, and this is, I don't want to say easy mode for John Carlson, because he has run long endurance races this year. Went back to Indianapolis, ran the 3-hour, but he's a little more acclimated to these long races than the rest of our field right now, and it shows because he has got not quite half a track, but quarter of a track on Quentin Borison, and looks to be expanding it.
Well, now's the time where, if you're a Cowboy, you take a breath, you take stock, and you worry about your laps. You worry about not hitting anyone in the intersection, and that's about it from your perspective. The focus is purely on ticking off consistent quality laps.
40 minutes away here, still 41 minutes away here, Ben, and we have seen nothing but Cowboy dominating. Your thoughts right now? Are you agreeing with Derek? Yeah, hit your marks and run your race.
Yeah, I think Cowboys. I don't think John has a spotter. I've been told that he kind of runs radioless in his car, so it is John in John's world. And if there is a driver who I want to here's the wheel, go bring it home, Cowboy's definitely in that conversation, and I think he is going to be hitting his mark. I'm sure maybe he's listening in for the car, trying to hear, is it fighting him here? Does everything still run right and sound good? Looks like Borison is closing a little bit and maybe trying to reel him in, but yeah, I think for the most part, Cowboys just, you're going to watch the intersection and make sure you hit your marks and just make sure you don't burn yourself up too much.
They're side by side for 5th as those two trying to clip their way through the intersection. We'll see if we get another look at it. Looks like Manning has made his way past Chevy Vincent as we look at 2nd. And now 3rd, there is Sheridan Vincent the Elder, trying to run down Quentin Borison as, boy, the intersection's just spaced out about right where guys got to be on it, but it's not super close to where it's going to have them, I don't know, with heart palpitations at this point in time.
For sure. And we were talking about, the challenge of this, too, is you can look at how this field is spread out a little bit. Borison to Sheridan to Mackenzie, the space, how compact they were when they were running back behind Chevy Vincent, and once they were all able to finally around to get around him again, so tough to pass, how they were able to spread out, and now it's causing the intersection to just be on a simmer. It's on a simmer right now.
Well, here's a look. John Carlson in cockpit. Watch and see how comfortable the Cowboy is. First and foremost, somebody get that man some gloves. Second, tell him to put his visor down. But you can see he's actually got a blower in the car that I think is circulating some air towards him. That's what that cream color, that white colored piece is out on the far side. It looks like that thing, now granted it doesn't have any tubes hooking up to it, but maybe just naturally blowing some air through and getting into them. I'll have to ask one of my buddies who knows that a little bit better, but that could be a pretty comfortable, well-circulated cockpit at the moment for the 36.
I'd say one of the big things you get to watch here with Cowboy in this moment is his wheel work. We were just discussing the finesse of driving this race car, and as he comes through the intersection, you're seeing him make those split-second decisions. He's confident he's not going to hit Mackenzie. You see slicing through in front of him, and he's sticking with his. I'm not even seeing his head turn to the left.
He's not even. He must be glancing with his eyes as he's coming through the intersection rather than make the full head turn coming around the corner. It's and that's a masterclass out of Cowboy right now, and just staying consistent and doing the same thing lap after lap.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just see it feels almost like an afternoon drive home. That Cowboy is just kind of casually moseying his way around this course. But I do want to mention Borison has closed the gap in the last 10 minutes and is starting to be somewhat in the same picture frame from time to time. So Cowboy is, how much can he kind of sit here and just, is he saving anything at this point, or is this what the 36 has and he's just been able to build up such an advantage? As you can see Borison there. Cowboys through the intersection as we see Quentin approaching it.
John's got some pretty good car feel, so he knows what the car is telling him right now, and I think he knows where his limit is going to be. To us, the question is, and that's with us without a stopwatch at the moment, what is he doing as far as his lap times right now as compared to earlier, because he's been in open air, no traffic virtually the whole race.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I'm just fascinated by the wheel work. If you had a camera in my Stinger during practice, it would not have looked that clean. It would have looked just miles worse. But it's that composure. He treats the left-hander and the right-hander differently, I'll note as well.
Yeah, you caught
with
that
the hand
too.
placement.
Yeah, you caught that too. How much more steering wheel input he had turning right versus how much more subtle his left-hand corners were.
And I also want to mention, another factor that I do think plays a role in this moment is Quentin Borison has one arm. I don't know how else to really say that in a more elegant
your
way.
sign.
Yeah.
He does, and we've seen Quentin go through. When he gets on these racing runs with Quentin, it's relatively easy because it's just the one arm on the steering wheel the whole way around. It's shifting and starts and restarts where that is the biggest factor as far as Hugh goes.
I mean, we've seen Jim Fody do it, but that's just because he's just casual Jim moseying on a Saturday.
He's got his hand on his coffee or waiting to light up a heater or something like that.
Exactly.
Right?
But, Quentin doing it out of necessity. And, it's one of the things, we have not seen Quentin start every race this year. He's used the sub-driver pool this season, and, it's been unfortunate whenever we see a super stock figure 8 race, we don't see Quentin in the car. But he's back out here for the 60 minutes of fear, and I'm sure, if this is how it holds, or if he finishes up on that podium, I'm sure we're going to get to hear about how that one arm is feeling.
Angel of the Winds Casino Resort and RV Resort, the official casino resort of Evergreen Speedway. Angel of the Winds takes great pride in being the best, whether it's customer service, entertainment, lodging, fun, and gaming, the entire Northwest. Let's expand upon that here for a second,
of course,
because
yeah.
it took me an extra second because I'm silly sometimes. John's got both arms wrestling the race car around. Quentin's got one. So, yeah, there's a little bit of extra wear and tear on just that push-pull of trying to get the car around those corners in one. I think it would make a difference in the fatigue factor at the end of the race for the 5-car.
Oh, yeah. We were riding along with
There we go.
Cowboy, and now we're riding along with Quentin. You can see he's got to take that left arm a little further, get more momentum on it, and then swing it back the other direction. It's impressive work to watch the one-arm bandit drive this race car that he knows so well, and he's one of the best to ever do it. I don't want to take that away at all, but it's just the difference in how he's driving versus what we saw out of Cowboy, and I think a part of that is the one arm, but another part is he's chasing down the driver of the 36. He needs to be a little bit more aggressive than how casual Cowboy can take it.
Now, it's one of the things, too, on your car construction point of view, and with Borison, you see he's got a very specialized steering wheel. That's not a steering wheel that we see other guys have, because it's got that full caved-in center section that allows him to get a little more grip on the wheel. That's an old-school style sweet steering wheel. I've seen them before. They used to be very common, but you don't see as many of the full filled-in center sections anymore. You've taken that out due to lightweight. Quentin's obviously got that so that he can get a little more oomph with his hand around the diameter of the wheel. I wonder if they've changed steering boxes or steering servos, and that's the thing that is helping you with your ratio of how much input to steering wheel versus how much turn it gives you, and the servo is how much power or / resistance it's giving you back. And it's one of those things, if I ever get a chance to talk to Chris in the Mary's Towing 5-car pit area, I'll ask him, hey, what do you guys do different as far as the steering goes on this car to try to ease it up or make it easier for Quentin to go and run these marathon races like this?
Definitely, put that at the top of the list of things to find out in 2026. Right now, Blaine Manning he got around Chevy Vincent. Vincent now down a lap, but Manning looking in the rear view sees the Cowboy starting to close in as it looks like, the light's starting to go down here in the middle of this race. Looks like things are getting a little darker, and obviously race cars don't need headlights because the track is always lit, at least when it gets dark. And we'll see now, as we've talked about this year a little bit, fellas, black race car in the night. And
a little bit harder to see.
A little bit harder to see.
Does have giant white numbers on the side.
That helps.
Which doesn't really help you with how long it is, but does let you know there's something there.
Right. If you can see that big white 36 right in the middle of the intersection, you know you need to either speed up or slow down, depending on how you're coming after it. It makes the front and the back of the car hard to see, And if they're trying to dip inside you getting to the corner, it makes it harder to see, especially when you're looking through a mirror.
Trying to see here on this awesome speed shot camera. It looks like Borison, again, I'd say in the last 5 to 10 minute aggregate, seems like he's maybe just barely, inching closer to Carlson, but I'm not sure if he's made enough ground to safely say that, he is going to get there at some point.
Carlson has shown a couple of times a little push mid-corner on the north end or the left-hand set of turns. Hasn't been enough for Quentin to drastically narrow the gap. But guys, we're 28, closing in on 29 minutes in with this, with just one stoppage so far. Unofficially, around the halfway point, understand that we're going to be closing in at like the 90 lap mark. Ooh. So that is a lot of laps that these guys have put on. And again, we'll talk tires a little bit more. They're on the 970. We would have our late model drivers go no more than like 125 on the 3/8s, but significantly less turning, less work in the sidewall, less resistance because you've got more straightaways here. I wonder if these drivers are going to have to go into some tire conservation mode at some point in time, and your veterans like Carlson and like Borison are going to be well equipped to that because they're going to hear the race car, they're going to feel those tires and go, ooh, they're barking at me, I can't get it that loud right now.
Well, the other thing you got to think about as well is, unlike a late model, you're putting the same amount on both sides.
Yes.
With this race car. You're taking 2 different corners at 2 different turns.
Yep.
Yeah, that's words.
Ooh, look at the big smoke out of Borison there.
That has not been the first one either. It looks like Quentin's really trying to drive the 5 deep into the North Pole. I'm not sure if he's feeling like he's getting a lock set up. It looks a little bit more there. Not sure where exactly, but that's not been the first time that we've seen that 5 car do that.
Real interesting stuff to watch here.
Well, we're 20 seconds away from halfway, guys, and John Carlson has led every lap of this very long race, and it's nowhere near done yet. It is only the halfway point. Carlson, Borison, Vincent's been third for a hot minute, as we'll watch him on the left-hand side of your screen, and his kid Chevy on the right-hand side. There's a 3-position difference between them, and Sheridan Vincent still on this lead lap. Chevy Vincent having to play catch-up at this point in time.
That is a lot of sheet metal flapping about.
I wonder how much longer that's going to stick.
Well, we crossed the halfway mark there. And I invite you to think we're maybe 5 minutes away from hitting 100 laps. That is twice the length of the longest Superstock Figure 8 race of the year, Figure 8 Nationals, at 50 laps.
I wonder, if we stay on this pace, they're going to potentially, and this is all approximate, of course, but potentially put down half a season's worth of laps on one set of tires.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
And especially if they aren't on 4 stickers. Like you said, some guys had laps on tires to begin this race. That's got to be making their cars handle weird. And just look how much that car shook on Sheridan Vincent there as he got into the corner. These things are not behaving as they're used to because, again, all of these laps at speed with only 1 caution. These things have been going flat out for a long time.
I think we're going to be in for much more of a war of attrition than we are used to. Obviously, we talked about survive. Can't win the race if you're not there at the end of it, but it's strictly, you don't know what the leader might have a tire go at any point in this.
Well, guys, it has been an interesting run so far, and it's about to get even more fascinating because while we were watching Vincent, Quentin Borison has closed in on the Cowboy. The Cowboys led them all. Quentin Borison right on him. And when we come back, we'll find out how it turns out. More of the Superstock 60 Minutes of Fear next on Home Track Heroes. Well, we appreciate you guys having swiped right on Home Track Heroes tonight here on Seattle 11. My name is Caleb Hart. He's Ben Iman and the Derek Todoroff DT on TV here for our show, brought to you by All Ply Roofing. This is the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8 60 Minutes of Fear. 39-ish minutes into this, John Carlson continues to lead. Mad pressure behind him for about the last 10 minutes or so, courtesy Quentin Borison.
Yeah, Borison has really closed this gap as now we find ourselves in the midst of some traffic. This in the form of Blaine Manning in the number 11. And, I mean, easily the two most experienced drivers on this racing surface right now are going to go to war for the race win.
We were speculating during the commercial break for the both of you guys whether it was Quentin really pushing the go button, whether it was John kind of taking it easy and relaxing for a little bit, or a little combination of both, as Borison had a look to the inside. I don't know what you guys think, but whatever it was, it has made this battle for the front a lot more interesting.
I think Quentin Borison has hit the Go-Go Gadget rocket boost on his 5. And I just, watching how long I was watching him really throw the car into the corner. We saw him locking up. We saw the tire smoke. He had been throwing the 5 at these corners because he had so much clean air, had so much space. He didn't have to worry about a lap car in front of him. It was really him and Cowboy. So I think this is probably 5 going more than the 36 holding off. But Caleb, you did note John Carlson's push in the turn a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and it looks like Borison's really locked down. That's a couple of really good laps for him. Cowboy, though, has the benefit of being in front. That means Borison not only had to run him down, but now Quentin's got to pass him. And did he use up some of that race car in trying to make that run and close that gap?
Well, and the other thing I'd point out is we've noted clearly that Cowboy is pushing a little high into those corners, but it's not by a full groove. You're watching Quentin enter higher than him and then try and get underneath him, but Cowboy's doing just enough to cover off that low lane. As we ride along with the one-arm band on the right side of your screen and following Sheridan Vincent on the left, that's, I mean, really what this race is going to come down to, should we stay like this and stay green for the last 20 minutes, is can Borison find a way to get the nose just in there enough to get by and get the start on passing the 36.
We're watching Sheridan Vincent, who looks like he's about a half track behind your lead, too. This would be the spot for Sheridan if he had some Go-Go Gadget rocket boost himself to run this down with those two battling for position in front of him. As Carlson now 41 minutes in and then just a hair under 19 to go. He's led them all in this race that's only been stopped once.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to see who's got what left at this point. 18 minutes and some change is probably about, I would say if you had been saving anything in that mid 20 minutes of this race, you're probably starting to use it up now. But I'm really curious to see, Caleb, what's left on these tires. I really have. If you have car left, if you conserve to be able to push hard the last 20, do you have the 4 wheels underneath you to support it?
Well, that winner's check will definitely put some new rubber on the race car for Flyshacker or the Mary's Towing Crew, depending on who ends up picking this up. Jog the memory banks, Derek. Is Cowboy a winner of 60 Minutes in the Outlaws?
I do believe so.
Okay, so he's got experience winning lengths of this race. Just got to wait and see what if he can do here in the Superstock as opposed to the Outlaw. As Borison continues to be right in behind him, it's Blaine Manning in front of him. And Manning will move up and out of the way and let the 2 leaders go for the top spot.
These are the 2 most decorated figure 8 racers, both of them with 8 titles. And while Quentin's all in this division, Cowboy's a little more split between Outlaws, the old super figure 8s, and now the modern super stock figure 8. And you see, Manning!
Ooh, look out!
Contact between Manning and Borison. I was going to mention how Cowboy had gotten past the 11, and now Manning really holding up Quentin Borison.
Yeah, Blaine had moved out of the way to let them by. You saw him take a very wide entrance to that corner, let him by. Cowboy got by. Quentin didn't fully make the pass, and there's Blaine fighting for racetrack position. And for the 5 of Borison, now he's back into run him down mode as opposed to trying to pass him mode. That's big.
That might be the wrench that John Carlson needed, because Cowboy looked like he was having to, he was holding him off, but was struggling, was fighting the car. Blaine Manning might have just been right place, right time for John Carlson.
Taking a look at the 5 and kind of watching how that car is settling down into the suspension. Can Borison find the speed again to close up that gap on the 36 of John Carlson? Here's a look from the intersection cam, the flat cam, and it cost Borison, I'm going to say, a corner where they were nose to tail before. Now, as Borison's getting out of the corner, Borison's getting into the corner, Carlson's getting out of it.
And as we were questioning what allowed Borison to catch Cowboy last time, really what matters here is that at the end of the day, that needs to happen again.
Yeah. Well, we'll watch and see as we're down to 16 minutes left. These guys putting a lot of laps on these tires, and Hey, Tire Pros, the official tire dealer of Evergreen Speedway. Tire Pros, your one-stop tire retailer where honesty is the best policy, and they have a hassle-free guarantee. Tire Pros has all the national brands and offers a nationwide warranty on your tires. Go to TirePros.com.
All of these drivers are going to need to take a trek over to Tire Pros after a race like this. Cowboy hanging on Borson. You can see the blue car starting to appear and get it back in. Caleb, you noted we weren't sure how much did Quentin use up to get to John last time, and does he have enough left? Do you think he might have enough left to get back to him again?
So I want to get another shot and watch the way that these cars are going into dive is the name of it, and that's happening right here in this corner. It's the best way to see it. You see that the Carlson car, as he comes in, the front end is it's dropping a little bit. That's allowing the car to squat. That's allowing the weight to transfer to the rear of the car to get the wheels spinning once again and build momentum as he's coming out of the corners. So you look at it, yeah, it's not getting into the corner quite as much speed, but he has drive coming out. That's going to be crucial for Carlson to continue have drive, because if Borson does get underneath him, he'll still have a chance to outmotor him and get that power down into the next corner. Indeed, so you see how upright that car is in the front end getting into the turn? McKenzie's car is not going to be transferring as much weight to those rear drive tires right now. I thought I saw Quentin on one of the earlier runs still have that bit of dive going on that was in the front, so I think he's still got that good weight transfer to get his power down and into the back, but we're going to need to monitor that and continue to see it. McKenzie had some drive coming out of that corner and ended up kicking the back end loose on her, but that's what you kind of want to watch. Are these cars still getting into the turn, squatting down, and getting their power into the drive tires in the back? Sheridan Vincent showing that he's got a little drive left in what he has got left, and the car isn't yelling at him too bad through the center of the corner as he maintains some speed through there right to get to the back end of Blaine Manning. So that's what you're watching. Watch the weight transfer of these cars coming into and out of the corner, and that'll show you how they're getting around this course.
And we're on board with Sheridan Vincent, the Branded Promotions Bam Bam Cam mounted onto the front of that giant cow catcher, and you can see Manning definitely seems like he's fighting the 11 a lot. Sheridan Vincent running third right now. Manning down a lap from these drivers, so if Sheridan can find a way to get around the 11, he has some drive left, as Caleb was noting, so he's going to give the big bump there to the 11. He might be able to potentially get back up to the leaders here just with about 13 minutes to go.
Guys, there's about 140 laps completed now at this point in time of the race. Unofficial, but about 140 passes.
So at what point do you start worrying about leg cramps?
Hopefully everybody put lots of fluid in their systems and hydrated well coming into it. Now, it's not the time of the year where we're having super hot days, as Sheridan Vincent with the love tap. But yeah, you do worry about the physical acumen of the drivers, as look at what we got. Borison has run down Carlson again with about a fifth of the race left to go, approaching the 12-minute mark.
I'd love to, I feel like, offer something I saw earlier that I might have changed.
Okay.
In the way these two tackle the line of this corner, as it seems like Borison's priority is it actually feels like these two have switched. Borison's priority earlier on was staying low at the apex of the corner, exiting a little higher to try and keep some more speed. While the 36, that was third place that they almost just ran into.
Well, head on a swivel so you know that they're still paying attention, right? And that's key. You got to continue to maintain focus. And there's a lot of mental processing that goes into figure 8 racing here, with all the look left, look right, look ahead of you, accelerate the right time. Quentin Borison has a chance to pull even with Carlson in the corner, under 12 minutes to go.
So if he could get there to the inside line to the South Pole.
Here's what I was trying to say. You're seeing the 36 swing a little further off of the line on the exit of these corners as the sacrifice for entering deeper and closer to that white line. By extent, you're seeing the 5 try and run that opposite groove, enter higher to get some speed and shoot off lower on the exit.
It's a beautiful cat and mouse game the two of them are playing. Can Carlson continue to hold that top spot. Intersection is quieted down a little bit as third place Sheridan Vincent was making both of them think for a second. We go in cockpit to Carlson, and now watch the hand input now that we're vastly further into the race and how much more he's having to turn to get that car to come around.
Also notice how much more he's needing to make those micro adjustments on the straights. He was keeping the wheel fairly steady before. Now he has to make those tiny little changes to avoid any chaos while going through the intersection.
I want to remind you guys, too, that we've talked a lot about tire wear. We have not talked a lot about fuel load burn off. Again, normally they run 30 laps in a shot here on their main event. They are 4 times plus over that at this point in time, and that means 4 times plus the amount of fuel that is burned off from the back of the car, which also contributes to a loose condition more often than not.
Yeah, these cars are going to be getting, not only with less fuel, I mean, they'll be getting lighter as this race goes on.
Yep.
And also, did everyone make sure they put enough in? Did anyone think we would hit this many laps tonight? And who thought that maybe they could save a little bit and maybe cut a few laps down on the fuel? As you can see, we're noting the Cowboy Carlson with the hands. The North Pole seems to be working a lot easier for him than the South.
Take a look on the left-hand side of your screen as well as the battle for third is on. Mackenzie Dietz knocking on the door of a podium finish. This is the first time we have really seen her up on the 43 of Vincent here in a bit, threatening to steal a podium position here in the late race.
Will Mackenzie be able to do it? Was she sitting around, maybe just riding her time right now, trying to get back up onto the podium? And what a storybook ending to end up on the podium at this season. Obviously, your season points championship in this division. Sheridan Vincent would love to end his season up on the podium in the 43. It's going to be a good battle between them, and you can see that they're these sets of drivers on opposite corners right now, so the opportunity to get to Borison or Carlson, not likely there.
Guys, 51 minutes into this race. Our drivers are exhausted, our cars are exhausted, and Captain Chaos stopped on the 5/8. Maybe to take a nap, maybe to grab a drink, who knows? As, hey, we are running out of time in this. We have got to take one more commercial break before we are going to see the final laps of the Superstock Figure 8 60 Minutes of Fear. And we're going to take that commercial break right now. John Carlson leads, Quentin Borison trying to take it from him, and we will see who gets the W when we come back on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Home Track Heroes continues here on Seattle 11. We're down to about 8 minutes to go here in the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8 A main event. Their 60 Minutes of Fear run. I'm Caleb Hart, Derek Todoroff, Ben Iman joining me, and our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing. Guys, for 52 minutes thereabouts, John Carlson has led. Quentin Borison has been in on him twice. The first time, a little bit of slower traffic hurt Quentin, made him have to roll him back in, but now right back up on him. The battle for third and fourth also in your screen between Sheridan Vincent and Mackenzie Dietz. So all through our top 4, battles continue, 8 minutes to go.
I mean, it's pretty spectacular that we got our one caution about 10 minutes into this one. We've been running almost 45 minutes now, straight green flag racing, and we're still going to end with a battle for the win. We're not going to end with Cowboy a mile and a half ahead of Quentin Borison, and now I've doomed him.
It's not a mile and a half, though.
No.
That's going to kind of go back to where we were, where you'll have Cowboy exiting a turn with Quentin entering one, but still time and a slower car in front of Cowboy at the moment.
It feels like every time Borison has gotten to Cowboy, the car just ends up giving out on him. It's like the car has enough run to get to Cowboy, not enough run left to get around Cowboy.
And Cowboy dealt with Chevy Vincent quickly. As you can see, Chevy really fighting that car behind him. So there's another obstacle for Borison to have to get by in 7 minutes. Not just get by, but still find his way to Carlson and around him as well.
And
odds stacking in John's favor.
And this battle really starting to heat up. Mackenzie Dietz, who ultimately I would say has been much kind of a non-factor in this one. You know, high expectations on the 67 coming into it, but a chance to get up on the podiums. You know, strong, consistent run inside the top 5. Can't complain about that ever. He's a multi-time winner of this event, is trying to get around Sheridan and claim one more podium to round the year out.
We were talking about Sheridan during the commercial break, and for a guy that's finished as consistently and as consistently well as he has, no Evergreen Speedway figure 8 wins for him. This would be a huge confidence builder if he can top 3 in this 60 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, setting you up well for next season. At least as far as I'm aware, another full season of Superstock figure 8 racing for the driver of the 43. And I know he's really enjoyed moving to this division. A while back was in street stocks.
Yep.
And then made the move into the Superstock figure 8. And I haven't heard a bad word about it from him.
Him and Chevy have both been really happy moving to these classes. Yep, they've torn some stuff up, but that's figure 8 racing for you. And hey, here we are with almost 55 minutes into this, and Chevy might lose a fender. Otherwise, both cars still running and running fairly well.
And that fender stuck around the whole race.
We were all worried about that, and it's just been maybe by design.
It's amazing what some Clecos and rivets can do to hang on to those things. As 4 minutes and 30 seconds in? Goodness gracious. Carlson continues to lead. Borison not closing. It looks like John's expanding a little bit here at the end.
Yeah, well, Borison has dispatched Chevy, so he's got the clean air, but this gap is growing, Caleb. I think for Quinton, you can see there circling around the North Pole as Cowboy was running through the intersection.
I think another interesting thing to note, we saw when Cowboy was battling with Quinton, he was hugging that white line much, much closer. And now he's gone back to moving up the track in the corner, moving about that half groove, maybe even a full groove up in these corners. It might just be more comfortable for him.
Might be the difference between knowing he's got to run a line that's a little more defensive and now running one to put the best laps he can down, as he's got nobody in and around him. He can almost run a qualifying lap at this point in time.
And talk about where the rubber's been laid down to. Is there more rubber on that, half groove up a little bit, as these cars have just been pouring it down on the track tonight?
Well, Derek's about to tell us here coming up in just a few minutes, because he's going to get out and go for his 30 minutes of ooh here in a little bit.
Terrifying thought. Thanks for the reminder.
30 minutes of terror. I like it.
Are you prepared?
Can one really be prepared?
No.
When you've never been behind the wheel of a figure 8 car in a race before, can you? We didn't even have heat races today.
I mean, it's going to be like imitating the Great Turtle. Just take your time. Things will come to you as they will. It'll be fine.
I don't recall the tortoise and the hare having an army running the tortoise over during the race.
Slow and steady wins the race, Derek.
Slow and steady equals speedy.
That's
Derek.
right. That's
I'm
right.
being tortured.
And also, we should mention the old race car adage, if we haven't given you enough of these. To finish first, you must finish.
Fair enough,
I hope you've got these written down. Maybe some duct tape across the dash with all these.
I spoke to a number of drivers, including some of the ones on track right now, like Quentin Borison and Mackenzie Dietz, and their advice was don't second guess yourself.
Well, have you been injured in a car accident? My advice to you, you should hire the local boys at the law firm of Wells Trumbull. Are you tired of seeing those flashy lawyers on TV? All bark but no bite. Wells Trumbull comes in first in the courthouse. Take a look at their website. They give specific examples, not mumbo jumbo. They're spending their time making TV commercials. They're winning in court. Wells Trumbull, local country lawyers, big city results.
Well, depending on the fate of Ophelia, Derek Todorov over here, we may have to call Wells Trumbull at the end of the night, but we're hoping
we're gonna have them ready for him.
We will have them on standby. So, Derek, just keep that in mind. Watching the end of this one, closing embers, 2.5 minutes to go. Borison we're trying to see right now how far back he is from Cowboy Carlson, but John is. I think the gap might just be a little bit too much in the dying embers here.
It is Carlson who's looking to bring home, which would be his third 60 minutes of fear victory here on Home Track Heroes, which has been brought to you all season long by All Ply Roofing. It's been a bit, though, for Cowboy since he picked up a 60 minutes of fear win.
That it has.
06 and 08?
Before pre-split, Caleb, the last time Cowboy won a 60 minutes of fear event.
I think that was back in the days of the classic silver 50 with the big blue numbers.
Wow. Long time ago in a land far away before Ben was even a wink in his daddy's eye, and Derek still liked amphibians. As we're down to a minute 34.
I was 8.
I was at the racetrack that day.
Allegedly. Minute 30 to go. Still a really good battle. We're going in car with the Brandy Hood promotion shot. Mackenzie Dietz, as she's looking at the back, and boy, Sheridan Vincent has just continued, even with all this pressure over the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so from Mackenzie. He's held up quite well himself.
Here might be the
Hello.
opportunity.
Look
Caleb,
out.
welcome to the announcer's curse. Unexpectedly, Mackenzie can't quite make the move stick. However, Sheridan just had enough fight left in his wheel to hold it off. Mackenzie not willing to send it in there deep, but we're under a minute to go. If she's going to make a move, she's got to make it now.
Dietz, time is an absolute asset for Sheridan Vincent right now as the sands of the hourglass tick away. That's the battle for third and fourth that you're watching on your screen. 42 seconds left to go. We expect the white flag at what, about 15 seconds?
I'd say next time by.
Okay, so watch Carlson, your race leader, and he has led them all. Every second of this race has been John Carlson. He'll make his way through the intersection, and we'll see if JD is prepping that white flag.
Meanwhile, we're on board with the BECU machine in the 67 of Mackenzie Dietz. Looks like we're going to get one more. And Mackenzie trying to find anything she can get to Sheridan.
Vincent doing everything he can to hold them off. And there is the white flag. I saw it that time. I think we're coming around, and we should see a checkered, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, 183 laps complete for John Cowboy Carlson, earning his flowers and earning his third 60 Minutes of Fear win. Give second to Porrison, and a flourish at the very end as Vincent and Dietz go spinning across the line. What a 60 Minutes of Fear it was for the Cowboy. Let's go down to the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium and talk to the now 3-time winner.
Well, Sheridan, obviously 60 minutes on the clock, quite a bit of a survival race at the end of the day, end up coming home third. Talk me through how was the race overall for you, and how's the third place finish to end off 2025?
It's great. I mean, we've kind of struggled all year. I mean, we've had some good races, but yeah, this one ended up pretty well. I know Mackenzie was coming at the end. I didn't have a whole lot of drive off, so I knew I had to protect. But she ran me clean, ran me good, and it was a fun race.
Yeah, playing a lot of defense for a long time. Talk about some of the work that talks about getting that car ready and what you guys do back at the shop. Did you get out here on Saturdays?
Well, actually, since I keep blowing motors up, I got Rick Jones's engine in it right now. If it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be here. Rick Yargis, we do everything at his shop, fix them. I mean, he redid the whole front end for me. Yeah, just a lot of late nights, a lot of good friends. That's what makes it go.
And who else do you want to thank for helping you get the car out here?
My wife, Becky, Tyler and Savannah, Rick Jones again, Rick Yargis, Rick Yargis' wife. I mean, we're always at his shop late nights. So Siskin Power Equipment, Pro H&S, Pit Innovations, Annie M's Dog Spa, my Aunt Heidi, and everybody and all the fans.
Third place night, the Superstock 60 Minutes of Fear, Sheridan Vincent. All right, Quentin, that was, you guys ran a lot of green flag laps during that race. Talk about, are you, I'm not sure the exact numbers, but was that the longest 60-minute race that you've been a part of for green flags?
Absolutely, that was the longest. I was getting so tired. My poor one arm was like, oh God, we need to get this over with quick. Good thing I clipped that Uke tire, John, because I was coming for you, Cowboy.
Slowed up there at the end, but we're able to hang on to second after that. Talk about just the year overall for you guys and to come home second place in this big race.
You know, the year was kind of a weird one and stuff. We missed some races from medical reasons, and we had obviously some issues with the car, and we got them figured out for tonight, and it was a rocket. It was really fast, and I wish I could have kept it in the condition it was early in the race, because it was going to be fun between me and John come down to the end of that race. I had a plan, but couldn't put it in place because I messed up.
And who helps you get the 5-car out here every time?
You know, Tommy Gap does all the work on it. Brandon Lovely and Keith Taylor, they help me with the car all the time. They're working, they got so many hours and so much work and so much effort into this thing. Mary, you know, she gives me a wonderful car to drive, you know, and all the people that help, you know, Chris and Tabitha and Joyce and my mom and Ron and just everybody in the pits that's there to help us. And then we have to thank Mary's Towing, and then Mary's Wreck Auto Parts, and we got to thank Monroe Motel and Olympia Pizza House, and we got to, you know, give a shout out to Bruce Beeler for letting us use his truck, you know, to get here to the track, and then Mark Hubbard for the radios, and Brandy for all of her videos and stuff that you guys all get to enjoy. They're incredible, and all the fans, everybody that's here, Evergreen Speedway, you guys, CW11 or Seattle 11, yeah, it's just amazing. It's amazing to be on TV and be able to be out here and perform and do stuff in front of you guys, and yeah, thank you guys so much.
Second place tonight, driver of the 5, Quentin Borison. We'll do it. Bill, John drove quite a season for you guys. Talk over there. Talk about just the year for you guys overall, and John behind the wheel and what you guys were able to do.
It's been an awesome season. We finished second overall. Got to get some composure here. Whew. Heck of a night. Heck of a night. John's an awesome driver. He taught me a lot about my car. We got that thing on rails. 9 fast times this season out of 12 races. God, I got to give it all to John. He's just been spectacular for me. Hoping I can try to keep him on next year. We're talking, and if we do, we're going for that championship.
And who helps you get that car out here every time?
I finance it. I get it out here. John drives it.
Well, John was certainly fast all year long. Talk about when you guys are running this year in a race like that, talk about what are you trying to tell the driver? What do you think is going through the driver's head over a long race like that?
You know, on a long race like that, we don't have radios. We don't do any of that stuff. We just let John do what he does best, and that's wheel a car. You know, the guy's a unicorn. He's awesome.
Well, John Carlson picks up his third 60 Minutes of Fear win tonight. First since 2008. Bill Fleischhacker up here grabbing the award for him. Congrats to the Cowboy. Congrats to Bill. Superstock 60 Minutes of Fear. Sorry about that.
We are ready for the good times to roll on here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing. I am Caleb Hart. Ben Iman here with me. We have lost to Derek Todoroff. Why? Because he's on track. The Buzzian Steakhouse Stinger 8's 30 Minutes of Fear is up next. Ben, who we got for this one?
Well, they're led out by, I think, 2 of the fastest Hornet Stinger cars in all the land. Damon Claiborne, Fred Flintstone himself in the 43 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Kiev Everett. Starting next to Diesel Snyder in the 717 out of Cle Elum, sponsored by Handy in the Valley. Behind Diesel, it's his dad, Matt Snyder out of Snohomish. He's also sponsored by Handy in the Valley. Starting next to Cody Hoops, your point season champion in the 10 out of Marysville, sponsored by JBR.
Third row, it's the 21 of Matt Somerville out of Monroe. Airport Welding and Muffler 2 is outside from Columbus, Ohio, sponsored the Ohio State University. It's the 42 of Robert Smith. Row number 4, Jacob Levitt, the 14X out of Buckley, sponsored by Cameron Iverson. And the 16 of Peyton Hop out of Snohomish, sponsored by the Cut Shop of Woodville.
Randy Moffitt's in the 102 out of Everett in the B&R Drywall Machine. Starting next to Tanner Bjornson in the 01 out of Arlington, sponsored by All Ply Roofing. Hawk Jenkins makes a Stinger 8 start in the 35J out of Maltby, sponsored by I'd Hit That Motorsports. And he'll start next to Mike Hathaway in the 46 out of Marysville, sponsored by Reppin Welding and Rail.
The 7th row is Tegan Bjornson out of Arlington, Misfit Motorsports on the sponsor list for that car. Kylie Ann Surian, the 67X out of Snohomish, sponsored by Walt Wood Company, will be to his outside. Row number 8, it is Mr. No Lift, 151 Cody Weldon out of Arlington. All Ply Roofing sponsors him. And to his outside, Devin Jenkins, the 195 out of Maltby, sponsored by PNW Traffic Control.
Mr. Speedy Turtle himself is the 85 of Derek Todorov out of Monroe, sponsored by I'd Hit That Motorsports. He'll start next to the 73 of Derek Myers out of Arlington, sponsored by Bulldog Haven Northwest. Chad Capps brings up the rear in the 007 out of Enumclaw, sponsored by Dave Iverson. Quick little nugget to throw on this. All these drivers have been told they cannot pass until they hit the Todorov.
Really?
No,
did you bribe them?
I did try to bribe Kevin and the other track officials with that rule, and unfortunately I was told you would have come on to me on Wednesday, we could have talked about it.
So we've got 30 minutes that are just going to come up on the clock here. And yes, pass as much as you want, whenever you want. That's going to be the rule as Diesel Snyder takes off and looks to hold the early lead. There's our Hornet Nationals winner, Damon Claiborne. It was him and Snyder out in the front of that field going after that one. And Matt Snyder in the 15 early sits into position number 3. Now, as much of a hard time as we give Derek, kudos to his bravery, jumping in on this. That's a scary thing. We've had announcers here from Home Track Heroes before jump into race cars, Kyler, and, have their moment in the glory as well, and it ended quickly. But we'll see how he can do. So good luck to him.
Well, Derek is already causing the leaders to split the field as Derek was dead stopped in the intersection.
That's a bad spot to be stopped.
To Shadow Derek, I salute your bravery. Our own Elizabeth Taylor out there trying to figure it out. And Derek, that's the smart decision.
That's a good spot.
There you go.
Go with everybody else. Nope, that's all right. That car associate sponsor, DerekTodoroff.com. All your Speedy Turtle merchandise available there.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Caleb, but it's kind of like a right-of-way. All the drivers have to yield to Derek like a pedestrian because they are moving at the same speed.
We have paid them for that. That has been the idea. Look out, Cody Weldon. Shoot the intersection. We know he is not going to lift, and he's got the 195 of Devin Jenkins, who also thinks that lifting is an allergy.
Well, now this is a new 195 as he's around. That car is
Geo Metro?
I wish it was a Geo Metro. It does need a graphics package, however. Derek!
Whoa, careful, buddy.
That was some great avoidance. There we go.
Well done.
And now
much like him in show prep. It's great.
This is going to open the door for Matt Snyder to roll into the caution flag.
Jenkins didn't move, did he? He just decided that he was looking at a pretty good race.
He goes, I live here now.
Oh, cool. Can't park there, buddy.
Well, we're taking a look here. Jenkins was coming around the South Pole, Somerville into Robert Smith.
Robert Smith treating him like a Michigan football player.
Well,
he goes.
It looks like just a chain reaction stack up as Peyton Hopp had to avoid it there. You can see Smith gets bumped about here. It looks like from Somerville, and that's just going to accelerate him into the back of that.
Toyota Tercel Wagon Edition.
Sure, that also could work. I was going to also say. Hideous car. No offense, Devin, but he said the graphics package on the way.
It's not hideous. It's unique.
All right, you know what? That's what my mother said about me, and, I still got called names in school.
We see how far you made it. All right, so there's a couple of different looks as we're back here in the booth for a couple of seconds. Let everybody settle down. 21 steer rates. We're going to see a lot of intersection. We're going to see a lot of bumping and probably more than one spin. If this race went the rest of the way unstopped, kind of like the Super Stocks just did, I'd be shocked.
I think they would also turn 180-something laps.
Man, in 26 minutes?
Just knowing them, they'd find a way, Caleb.
All right.
Maybe not.
Magic. Although, reasonably, they could go 90 pretty quick. They do really speed around. Again, a lot of rubber put down on the track, so a lot for them to grab onto, depending on what the track condition is, how it has or has not cleaned off. Diesel Snyder going to jump to the gas. Damon Claiborne's the guy with the teal underglow on the 43, and that is Matt Snyder, Diesel's dad, sitting in position number 3 as we are back to green.
Yeah, problems for Claiborne up the track. Did not get well into the turn, and that's going to open the door. Here comes Robert Smith and Matt Snyder. Matt Somerville, hello to the 21. Cody Hoops falling through. Man, Damon Claiborne falling like a rock on the restart.
Trying to get her back together. He makes his way to the inside of Hoops, looking to take that spot back over. Somerville in the 21 is 3rd. Robert Smith 4th in the 42 car, going hoodless for this one, trying to get a little extra airflow into that engine package. That's a good choice by the 85 car on that intersection shot.
Very good choice there. He's still there. And here comes the fast cars in the field.
That's seasoned veteran move. Everybody else starts going through your safety go as well, right?
Yep, and so now they open the door for Somerville to get around Matt Snyder. Good drive on that 21. Now the 15 leaning on the 42 as they're coming around. All of this, by the way, Diesel Snyder loving this and being able to check out all of this, Caleb. We're 5 minutes into this.
That's right. Still a long ways to go. Look out. We got one around as Snyder tagging the back end. Was that Myers 73?
No, it's Chad Capps, the 007.
Ooh, complete with...
And he was dragging the one of the piece of rebar around for a while. Now Snyder, Matt Snyder must have something wrong with his car after that insight. The way he just tossed it into Bjornsson.
It's either that or he's using the other race cars kind of like the bumper lanes at the bowling alley at this point in time. Hey, they're here to keep my ball in. I'm good.
That could be his intersection all over mess, and now Bjornsson into more of it. Smoke galore up the 59 machine now slow.
Ooh, I don't think that smoke is from locking up the brakes here, Ben. Let's take a look as they get in the corner. I think we got some slickery stuff down on the racetrack. Look how far that push out made between Caps and Diesel Snyder.
Yeah, as the intersection missed there. Great by everyone, but these drivers sliding around everywhere, and now we're under caution. Here we go. We're going to have to inspect this.
Yeah, being told over the official's radio that there is something slick down on the racetrack there, and that came off the Bjornsson car. Let's take a look at the 59 as he gets into the corner, and yep, smoke and fluid all in one.
Yeah, that's going to be day over for Tegan Bjornsson in the 59, and not a conducive to the racing situation. You can see the car goes there, and Peyton Hopp just wrong place, wrong time again for the Hopster as he was slowed up there a little bit. Now let's go on board with Cody Hoops, and Cody was right behind him.
Bad timing. Worst place to be is right behind a guy with the engine lets loose. And yeah, there's a look at the stripe put down off of the Bjornsson car. So a little bit of cleanup. We're going to see the Speedy Dry or the kitty litter put out on the racetrack as it is. That absorbing material that comes in makes it less slick. The problem is that it goes from slick to marbly. So yeah, you get more traction, but you're still not getting optimal traction now when you're running through that area of the racetrack.
Yeah, the drivers were told over the receiver to all of them to drive through it. Please try to kick as much of it around so these drivers are going to know what they're going to be in for. Matt Snyder now and Matt Somerville. Matt's on the first row of two cars. Diesel Snyder, the Delaware Star restart. Claiborne, Rob Smith, and then Kylie Ansurian running well in the 67 next to the 10 of Cody Hoops. Derek Myers also quietly creeping his way forward. Will restart next to Peyton Hopp.
Creeping and back to green flag action. Snyder has led the first 10 minutes. Somerville now in second. Matt Snyder in third. Let's see if dear old dad can help his boy out and give Somerville a tough run, but Matt's going to get him cleared, and now we'll see if Somerville can run down Diesel out in the front of the field.
And this is going to be the question, because this 717, Caleb, we've seen it right here on Home Track Heroes, how fast he can be. A multi-time main event winner in one night this season, and we talk about the wins that he stacked up across the year, the podium finishes. The 717, one of the fastest cars, one of the fastest four cylinders around. It's going to be interesting. Can Matt Somerville get enough underneath his hood to get back to him?
Just visually, I think he closed on him a little bit that lap. It wasn't a huge amount, but you can see it right here at the apex of the South Pole. Yeah, that 717's a little bit closer. Look out, intersection, and they both avoided that time by as that got hairy in a hurry.
Well, good job by the 85 to navigate that one, although unfortunately having to round the pole again is going to lose a lap in that. But yeah, look at this gap right now. Somerville, big-time gains on the 717. Now Matt Snyder, Rob Smith leaning on each other some more. Smith wants up onto the podium.
Hands up, Cody Weldon.
Well, heads up always. And no. Claiborne into Caps. Claiborne just keeps going, like, with no regard for human life. And we'll just keep going with Chad Caps spun around.
It was clobbering time there for Damon Claiborne. Fred Flintstone mixing with the Thing from Fantastic Four version, and we're going to get a replay coming up here as unfortunately Chad Caps. Yeah, that race car took a shot. Let's see it again.
Here's just Chad Caps minding his own business, trying to get through this intersection, and I just wonder if there was a hole there for Chad or if it just closed up quicker than he thought it would. It was Surian who was waiting for the fast cars in the intersection and I think was trying to follow the Cody Weldon line.
Well, she ended up with a race car not getting splatted, so that's good news.
Ooh.
And you could see Claiborne was trying to adjust that race car. You could see from that point of view, he was hard cranked around to try to not make that contact. But hey, it's figure eight racing with 21 stingers on the track. It's going to happen.
Yeah, the intersection sizzling like a buzzing steakhouse steak tonight. Diesel Snyder's going to have control, but this time Robert Smith right next to Matt Somerville on row number 1.
Medium or medium rare?
Mid rare.
Mid rare?
Mid rare.
Good man. You've chosen your steak wisely.
Thank you.
So we've got 17 minutes, 20 seconds left to go here in the Stinger 8. 30 minutes of fear. Our buddy Derek, still alive, still out there, still making laps. Good job to him, even though he had to go around the outside a couple of times. Kind of makes him like Eminem's Trailer Park Girls, does it not?
It does. And Derek was telling me before the race he just wanted to, see the finish. He didn't want to cause any harm. He's already thrown that one out the window as we saw him, brake check the leaders in the intersection.
I'm just glad that he didn't tell you he wanted to be like Eminem's Trailer Park Girls.
Well, he told me that, but just not before the race today.
Oh, weird. We'll get to that later.
Whoa,
maybe
Matt.
not on the air. Matt Snyder, just kind of wedged himself in there, and Robert Smith explores the tulips for a second.
Yeah, and that's going to allow Cody Hoops to sail through. Now Smith driving aggressively, leaning on Peyton Hops, trying to get through all this. Again, look who's moving himself forward. Derek Myers in that 73, slowly picking up spots, moving his way forward. Good run. Haven't seen Myers much this season, but in his spot start so far is able to try to move his way forward. But now having to battle with Peyton Hop is once again the intersection starting to sizzle up, and Somerville was closing on Snyder that last time by. We'll go on board with Kylie Ann Surian now, and again, making the smart illusion, just a little tap of the brakes and finds that way through there. And Cody Hoops caught the back of Matt Snyder. Action galore, Derek. Derek's on the track.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate that mix-up. That's good. Derek is just now getting back up to speed as he gets lapped
Well,
again.
I'm also saying that lots of action out there, Derek, because, Derek is in lots of the action.
Are you turning Derek into an adjective now? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Surian is pulling off, so you can see her in the Brandy Hood Promotions shot. That means we'll switch over to Robert Smith, the hoodless one, as he is watching action in front of him. Battle for the lead on the left between, it was the battle for the lead on the left. Now it's the battle in front of Robert Smith in full picture view as he works his way to the inside of Cody Hoops. That's third, fourth, and fifth, duking it out.
Yeah, this is a good battle. Robert Smith, good recovery drive after he spent his time frolicking up half a couple grooves where you don't want to be, and looks like the leader's just trying to navigate the intersection. Cody Weldon, always a threat to torpedo you.
A lot of these drivers have gone to Green Shields. Green Shields is your trusted local family-owned store since 1953. They specialize in brake lines, clutch lines, and high-performance lines designed for drift cars and competitive racers like our Stinger 8s. When precision matters most, Green Shields delivers unmatched quality and reliability.
Well, talking about reliable, the 10 car, Cody Hoops, who's trying to get up on the podium, your points champion this season, was always a threat in every race he was in. Didn't win every race, but was always near the podium.
Love tap from Somerville to Snyder to the inside. Full-on body contact down the back of it across the intersection. They both escape. Snyder beats him to the inside. Full-on front bumper again from Somerville as it's getting ferocious and physical here in the Stinger 8 main event. Looks like Snyder hangs on, but boy, Matt Somerville really challenging him here.
Yeah, Matt Somerville really throwing everything he can. He knows we're about the halfway point. I'm sure he wants to get around Diesel now.
All right, we have got more from the Stinger 8, 30 minutes of fear. More laps to the finish of this race coming up after this break here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. We are in the back half here of the Stinger 8, 30 minutes of fear here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Big thank you to All Play Roofing sponsoring the program. I'm Caleb Hart. He has been Hyman. And out on the racetrack, Diesel Snyder has led them all, but Matt Somerville really making them work for it, Ben.
Yes, and Matt is not making the intersection choice easy for Diesel. Kind of forcing Diesel into this no checkup situation as there's a car stopped on the inside of the South Pole. Right now, the intersection will play a factor, I'm sure, for these two as it continues.
We continue watching him, and there comes one of the Bjornsons. Tanner Bjornson kind of limping through the intersection. Picks it back up. That car will stay out there. We stay clean and green, at least for the time being. 13 minutes plus to go. We've had more than our fair share of, tear-ups and cars leaving the raceway, as this one has not been nearly as clean as our Superstock Figure 8 main event was.
That is for sure. These drivers running, car count will help with that a little bit, but these drivers, as Matt Somerville to the inside of Matt Snyder, leaning on each other, really door banging as they go through the intersection, trying to stay out of it. Michael Hathaway jumping lap traffic into the battle, and Diesel's gonna fend off Matt.
Wow,
that was a great defense from the 717.
Diesel's got just enough car speed that he can get his way back by, and if he gets that advantage into the North Pole, hold the position. Somerville has really made him sweat, though. Snyder running a good defensive race, but he's pulling every trick out of his sleeve as well. You saw last time when Somerville got to the inside, Diesel really pinched that corner hard.
Oh.
Here's Weldon. Is he going to be the pick that Somerville needs?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
He's going to run
boy.
Diesel way up the track. Matt Somerville clearing away into the lead. Diesel Snyder, wrong place, wrong time, and just like that, with under 12 minutes to play, Matt Somerville leads.
Oh, and I imagine Diesel's going to be running angry now as he gets into Surreying it around. Got to be careful. You can't race on tilt. He'll cut the intersection and try to get back out there. And stays within striking distance of Somerville for now. He's not too far behind, but he's got some gap to make up.
Yeah, that is just a tough break for Diesel. How many times can we say that in 1 year? Tough break for Diesel feels like something I've had to utter way too often for a driver who's had such a fast race car.
You know, I haven't raced nearly as much as these guys have, but I've spent a little bit of time behind the wheel. And the one thing you can't do is compound a mistake with a mistake, right? Yeah, made an error in judgment in trying to get up and around Weldon where he did, but he came back, and that move to the inside was just a hair too aggressive for the time, and it cost him. Now, has it cost him the chance to win this? Not yet. He's still got to run Somerville back down, though, and it's going to make it vastly harder.
So that'll be interesting. This is right now cars all behind Matt Snyder in third. I am getting a report, Caleb, from trackside. It is our friend Derek Todorov stopped up in that south section.
Oh, no.
And I'm hearing that they tried to fuel the car strictly on Ghost Energy, which is the wrong energy drink. Rev Up Energy is what they should have used.
I see.
And therefore, Derek Todorov ran out of fuel.
I was guessing that the website, DerekTodorov.com, was getting mad traffic because of his 2-for-1 t-shirt sale.
That also could be the problem. Are we getting an error 404 message and the server's just having to crash, can't handle it?
Whatever it is, I believe that our Todorovian experience is done, as is Diesel Snyder's, as he is heading into the pit area. Diesel's run is done. He was our leader for a while, and unfortunately Matt Somerville now has the mantle all by himself.
Well, Peyton Hopp's got a bumper cover flying about right now on the classic Bill Bleem impression. As Matt Somerville, your leader, as we'll tick under 10 minutes left to race right now. So Somerville from Matt Snyder in second as the 717 comes flying back onto the racetrack. So whatever repair or adjustment he needed, but he'll be down in the lap count somewhat, but it was a quick pit.
It might have only been a lap or two. So granted, that's going to be really hard to make up with 9 minutes left to go on this, but we'll see what Diesel can do. As Somerville, your race leader, out in the front.
Yeah, we're on board with Cody Weldon, the president of Club No Lift himself. And watch out as he sails through the intersection right now. Somerville, Snyder, and Cody Hoops inherits third.
Look out, Somerville, big checkup there.
But that was to second and third.
Yeah, well, big benefit for them. They kept their speed up. They'll make up some time on him now, as Hoops is going to take second away from Matt Snyder. So Cody Hoops, the former track champion, continuing to pursue his way forward. It is Hoops working his way to the former and current track champion, I should say.
That's true. Picked up another one as Hoops getting the muscle out. The 15 up the track, and Cody Hoops is going to roll through. Looks like they were trying to pinch each other off, and Cody just wins the battle into second.
Man, that intersection is so hot right now. You got to keep your eyes on it. As here is Snyder back up on the back of Matt Somerville. This was originally your battle for the lead. Snyder trying to unlap himself here, as he is right up on the back of your race leader, Somerville.
If he's just one lap down, there may be enough time for him to try to get back up into a top 5 finish. If he's multiple laps down, then he's just running just for the sake of running.
It looks like he is 9th at the moment. I would guess that that's a lap, but I'm not 100% certain. We'll let the scoring worry about that. But again, first he's got to get around Somerville to unlap himself, as we watch Hoops distance himself from the elder Snyder. Matt Snyder third. Cody Hoops is second in the 10 car with a car length or two in between them and a very, very warm intersection going through.
There's something about watching Cody Hoops shoot an intersection that's like watching Picasso paint. The multiple times that, you don't become a multi-time track champion without being able to know how to navigate an intersection. And some of the times in this race alone that Cody has went, yeah, that gap will work, and just makes it work through a pile of cars. Shows why he's running up towards the front and why he's so competitive and has 3 championships to his name.
All right, so we've got a Cody Hoops' Picasso reference, and we have got a classic Bill Bleem reference as well. We have certainly gone way off into the weeds on some of these here tonight on Home Track Heroes.
You know what? I now have a better prescription for my allergies, so the weeds don't bother me as much, Caleb.
We wouldn't have weeds if Don Fairley would just do the landscaping like he promised.
Yeah,
It is Somerville continuing to lead. He's got a healthy advantage over Hoops for the time being, and now he has got a little space to work within that intersection. It's not as scary, but it's always going to be a something as we watch the gloveless Peyton Hopp working his way through the South Pole.
Peyton is trying to hold on and trying to roll through. The Stinger 8 Nationals winner this year, Peyton Hopp, in that 16 machine. And right now, just trying to move his way, running 5th right now. Derek Myers in 4th, trying to close up on the podium, is the 73. And, you know, the waning embers of this race, does Myers or Hopp, if anything, to challenge for our podium?
Ooh, Peyton's got to be a little bit careful getting through there. He can still see Myers. Myers right now working to the outside of Surrey in one of the lap cars, trying to get around her, and Hopp doing everything he can to use the opportunity to roll in on Derek. He now has to get around Kylie Ann himself with a busy intersection in front of him. Watch to the left as they're coming through. Peyton Hopp manages to have a clean one there, and now can spend most of his time just solely concentrating on running down Myers in 4th.
Yeah, we are under 6 minutes left to go, and it is you know, we are closing in, and Matt Snyder has dropped off the back of Cody Hoops right now, and 15, I think, in maybe a bit of survival mode. I'm not quite sure. Tires aren't really a factor in this, but, you know, for some of these drivers, Caleb, we talked about, they ran a 50-lap Hornet Nationals event.
Yep.
And then had to come out and run this little 30 Stinger race. Talk about the wear and tear that one of these cars could take up over running that many laps in one day.
Well, we saw a 60-minute Superstock race go 183 laps in and around. Granted, one caution, but it was early. We really haven't had that many stoppages here in this one as well, so this could be very well be a 70, 80 lap race maybe by the time they are done. As they go through and do that, we got to say a big thank you to PRCBD. Visit PRCBD in Arlington for all your CBD products. For people in pets, PRCBD has help for all types of aches and pains. Go to prcbd.com and use the promo RACE.
Somerville, under 5 minutes to go, is trying to hang on. They're getting the 5-minute warning from JD in the flag cove, and Snyder up the racetrack. Here comes here comes Derek Myers. That's the battle for 3rd, Caleb. Looks like lap traffic got in the way, and all of a sudden, our podium battle's getting hot again.
Derek Myers looking for opportunity to take position away from Matt Snyder. That's Snyder directly ahead of him. They'll split the traffic in the intersection. As we look back, that's your race leader on the left, and Cody Hoops is your 2nd place driver on the right-hand side, trying to close up on him and maybe pull the late race upset.
Yeah, Cody trying to run down his teammate and would love to end up getting onto the top step of the podium to finish the season. What a complete year it would be. Almost the Triple Crown in this division, but 2 of the 3 would have to feel pretty good for the 10. And came back last year, started to pick up running again midway through the season. He wasn't really committed to running a full season this year, but started the season off so hot and just kept it rolling and added another title to his belt.
Well, the old song says 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And that will absolutely be the case for Somerville if he can hang on here for another 3 minutes and 40 seconds here on Home Track Heroes. There's Hoops mired in between the driver with the world's biggest head, Randy Moffitt, and Mike Hathaway. And in between them, Hoops has got to find his way through quickly and maybe get a little help intersection-wise from the rest of his fellow drivers to run down Somerville.
Yeah, we'll see. Matt has just been so consistent across this race, across this season. Just finished outside Cody in the championship. Oh, and the 21 slowing. Maybe that was just a strategic slow up. Thought maybe mechanical there for how quickly he reduced his pace. But now maybe just a strategic, because he's back up to speed.
He is. That was just a strange feint, I guess, for the purposes of that. Maybe he wanted to let Weldon get far away from him or just take a wider view of an intersection coming up. Not sure why, but hey, it worked. Somerville back to pace here with 2:45 to go, although not quite the same amount of distance as he had. Hoops did close a little.
Hoops did close a little bit. Hoops right here in the middle of this sandwich. Just, you can see he's closing, but he's got multiple cars in between. We'll go on board with Mike Hathaway here. A couple cars back from Hoops, the car we're watching, and Here's the door. Cody Hoops going to maybe try to go 3 wide, but Bjornsson driving him tough. Derek Myers is to the 15. This is the battle for third.
Here's to the inside goes Myers, squeezing his way past the Uke tire. And can he get the spot?
Oh.
No, Matt Snyder is going to get in the back of Hathaway. Hathaway, nice recovery. Snyder pushing wide. Myers there once again as they work to get around Weldon.
Yeah, well, Derek Myers send it into the North Pole. Really steadying up. The 15 gets loose. The nose of the 73 gets poked in. Some contact, and Myers had to back out of it to gather the car. So another lap down, still navigating the intersection. Hathaway into a big shot into the 15. Comes down right in front of Derek Myers. Keeps going again. Wow, this is getting physical.
Myers had the opportunity there as Hathaway sure showing Snyder a little bit of retribution for tagging him before. He'll pull off of that, dart into the pit area, and that will be the last hurrah for Mike Hathaway. Myers was unable to get by him, though, in the exchange. Now down to 1:24 to go in the battle for third.
I guess here's the question is, can the 73 get anything? Get back there is right now Matt Snyder trying to hang on, and Derek Myers is trying to get there, and
Peyton Hopp's a lead lap car there in fifth.
yeah, he is, and another shot to the back of the 15. He hangs on. Now Myers is looking to the right side. Kenny is going to try to make the long way around if he can get there. No, the door closed. Now he'll send to the inside. It gives him another bump. We're under the minute. The 15 sideways. Peyton Hopp has to navigate. The 16 gets the best of it. Peyton Hopp into third place. Derek Myers gets shoved out of it. And now Matt Snyder trying to drive in deep in the corner. He's around. Hopp's driving away.
40 seconds left. Snyder into the infield after some physical racing between third and fifth. And it's right place, right time for Peyton Hopp picking that up as it is Somerville and Hoops 1 and 2. And we're under 30 seconds left to go here in the Buzz-In Steakhouse Stinger 8. 30 minutes of fear. One more time around for Somerville.
One more time, Matt Somerville. It is a total dominant year for these two teammates, Hoops and Somerville. Hoops wins the championship, and Matt Somerville is going to come home. So you can navigate through the intersection one final time. It got a little hairy, but Matt Somerville rounding the North Pole, picking up another little 30 victory.
Congratulations to Somerville. That is Hoops in second. And a great battle for third finishes off here on Home Track Heroes, as well as Matt Somerville, Cody Hoops. Those two all year long. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Whole lot of times tonight. Somerville wins the battle and takes home 30 minutes of fear.
Yeah, what a great race. What a great showing for the Buzz-In Steakhouse Stinger 8s. If you don't love figure 8 racing and you don't love cars like this, then I don't know what you're doing, because that was incredible. And got to give a big shout out to Derek Todorov one more time for being braver than us and hopping behind the wheel of one of those.
I may not have seen the point where Diesel Snyder unlapped himself, but he's sure burning out donuts like he ended up running third.
Well, there's wheel out there, and I don't know. We'll have to get some clarification, but yeah.
We'll trust what scoring says on that one. We will come back. We'll go to the podium here for the Stinger 8s as you watch Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11.
Well, I got a very different seat to this Stinger race. Watching you out there, you had a long battle going on for a long time. How do you keep your composure in a 30-minute long Stinger race?
You know, I honestly have no idea, especially with 18 cars out there. I mean, that was one of the more chaotic figure 8 races that I've had this year. And I mean, but what a show we put on. I mean, just being out there, just shooting the intersection, battling for position on the lead lap. I mean, there's no other feeling like it. I mean, you gotta be on your toes at all times. So I just navigated my way, and I was in the right place at the right time.
So there was a moment near the top of the race where one of the slower cars stopped right there in the middle of the intersection, and everyone had to dodge one way or the other. How do you make that choice in that moment and avoid absolutely annihilating that car stopped there?
Oh, well, that happened to this car last year. So, I mean, man, just so much goes on in your mind, just even coming out of the corners, because you got guys that are checking up, and you don't have to pay attention to the car intersection traffic. You have to pay attention to people that are going to stop right in front of your lane. So I mean, it's just that mind games of seeing the cars that are stopped, and It's incomprehensible, really.
Who would you like to thank for your performance tonight and all season long?
All right, first off, I gotta thank the best cut shop in America. That's the Woodinville Cut Shop. I'd like to also thank Bardall, Hornets Nest Racing. I mean, the best team I could ever ask for. I'd like to thank my fiance, Alyssa Verpon. In 2 months we're getting married, and this third place means a lot to me. So this is for you, baby. And GN Northwest, Exterior Wall Systems, BSR, Brandy Hood Promotions, my girl, and just Grandpa and Grandma Hop, and just all the amazing fans that have just stuck with us all year long. It's been a long, crazy season, but to 10 off third in 60 minutes of fear. I mean, that's good enough for me. I'll take that.
Woo! Third place tonight, Peyton Hop, driver the number 16. Well, Diesel, you have had some absolutely amazing bright spots to this season, couple of low points. How does this race, where you come home second in the biggest stage of the season, set you up for next year?
Oh man, this is awesome. I was like, well, I got black flag. Then I was like, oh, this sucks. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm passing Matt again. Then I was like, wait a minute, that's fifth. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm on the board again. And I was like, full send, we got to get up there. And I pulled it off. I don't know how.
I got to watch from over on the South Pole as you came roaring back to life. How do you do that? You're very young, and especially in this very competitive division. How do you just have the iron will to get that done?
I stopped thinking and just floor it.
Fair enough. Who would you like to thank for this season?
Handy in the Valley, Valley Asphalt, the SC, bus drivers, the Teen Shop Center, my mom, my biggest supporter out here. There's a Herring. There's a ton of people that make this possible for me.
Driver of the number 717, give it up for Diesel Snyder, second tonight. Cody, a chaotic race indeed. I want to ask you, as someone who was out there this time, every time I came to a stop, I'm a little bit of an impediment. I know that. You're the one who kept choosing to dive to the inside of me. What inspired that?
Just get out of the way, buddy.
Well, it was bold. That's my point. You made some bold choices out there, and it rewards you with the big gold cup. How you feeling? 4 championships. This is your first here at 60 Minutes.
Yeah, first time was 60 Minutes. Gone second a bunch. A lot of fast cars out there tonight. We had 18 car field. It was just chaos. And you either got to go if you're going to win. You can't hesitate. You can't stop. If you do, you're not going to make it. So, your question earlier, just go. Whatever you can do to go. Avoid the person in the intersection. Avoid the person in front of you stopping. Just go.
You cap off a championship season with this win here at 60 Minutes tonight. Who would you like to thank for this year?
I want to thank my stepdad, Tom Easley. He's always out here. John Bender, he wasn't here tonight, but huge help. Matt Somerville, Caleb Easley, Cascade Auto. He hooked me up with a battery. Just the whole JBR crew. My wife, she's been supporting me all year. Brandy Chavez, my kids, my family. It's a great year. It's a lot of fun.
Driver the number 10, your winner tonight in 30 Minutes of Fear. It's Cody Hoops.
Well, it was nice to see that Cody Hoops was super thrilled about his race win. Also, side note, Cody Hoops' race win. Matt Somerville fails post-race tech. Diesel Snyder was second, although none of us can figure out how. Third ends up Peyton Hop. Oh, by the way, welcome back to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11 for our final segment of the year. It's brought to you by All Ply Roofing. I'm Caleb Hart. He's Ben Iman. And also 3 outfit changes in 15 minutes out of Derek Todoroff. From driver suit to gray polo to black polo here on the show.
The black polo just looks so much better on TV.
God, technology is beautiful. And let's finish this off with some Bus Racing World Championships. Skylar Cruz is in the blue, 20/59/whatever. The black and green 007 is Chad Capps. Tracy Kelly is in the 25 Shark bus as she has absconded the ride from Jalen Vick because Jalen's flipping too many cars. Becky Vincent, the 43, the pencil bus. Angie Dietz, the Reppin Welding and Rail black and green 45.
The struggle bus.
And the J-Van Buskirk appearance of the year in the J-Van bus. That's the 48. I think he's on the pole. Let's go for however many minutes we want to let the buses run. Guys, it is the final segment of the year on Home Track Heroes.
Hard to
Derek,
believe
you
we
smelled
made it.
better before the race.
That
Hey.
hurts, man.
Well, listen.
Well, it's not your fault. You ran a race.
You couldn't slip in a shower in that 15 minutes that you made 3 outfit changes?
I had to make the outfit changes, and I had to run back here from the pits after running already to the podium.
It's true.
The Jenkins crew didn't have a garden hose down there that they could just...
It is tough that our announcer tower is exactly 47 flights of stairs in the air. No bathroom, no elevator.
Well, I didn't know you could count that high, but kudos to you for doing so, as they have really elongated this figure-8 bus course. The South Pole is much more southern in this run.
Well, right now, the 48 J-Van Buskirk, the bus we are focusing on as he's Buskirking his way around this bus 8 and leading us so far. And right now, there's Kelly gonna...
Tracy, get him!
Oh, that 25 has taken enough this year, Caleb.
Well, hold on a second, guys. Is this our first ever bus race without Ritter?
Might be.
It might-
Wow.
You know,
It took all the way to October to finally knock Ritter out of a bus.
well, it's because we're sending him to Charlotte for the NASCAR Championship banquet for being the undisputed champion of bus racing.
But we got the Van Buskirk Van Bus back, so
Yeah.
we're okay.
Yeah, that's it. It was kind of like we won't let Grandma out of the cage until something happens, and we let Jay out of the cage because
What
Jeff's
is that
not starting the
comparison?
race.
Wait,
you know?
you don't keep your grandmother in a cage?
I don't keep my grandmother in a cage.
Oh, wow. What do you have her in? Like the dog crate?
At a certain point, words fail you.
You know,
It's okay,
I
Derek.
could feel our Emmy slipping away by the segment.
We're getting that Emmy.
Well, we are on board with the struggle bus right now. Angie Dietz in the 45, very cautiously tiptoeing the bus around.
Dare say struggling?
I think all these drivers are playing a lot nicer than we expected. A couple of first-time drivers in this bus lineup tonight. And
Do they not know we have all off season to repair buses?
Well, I do know that Angie was talking to me and sympathetic with my plight heading into the Stinger races. This is Angie's first time racing anything.
Oh, careful, pencil bus. That's Becky Vincent who goes, nope. It's Angie's first time racing anything?
Correct.
So another vaunted member of the Dietz family making their debut, and it's a first one ever?
That's
Strikes me
correct.
as weird. All right.
Wow. And to pick a bus of everything.
It's
I'd race a bus.
Caleb would race a bus.
Yes.
Caleb would race a bus.
Because this is going to air on TV. This race next year, you'll come run a bus.
You'll come run a bus?
The doctor says no.
Well, who
But I'll
cares what
think
the
about it.
doctor said?
I'd like to continue to be able to see well into my adulthood, and that's why the doctor says no. Let's take a second and thank All Ply Roofing. All Ply Roofing serves the greater Puget Sound region from Bellingham to Tacoma. North Bend to Bremerton, All Ply has you covered. Call All Ply Roofing for a free estimate or visit them at allplyroofing.com, your residential and commercial roofing team. All Ply Roofing.
I'm confident, just like how All Ply Roofing can get a better roof above your head, modern science can get you better eyes.
That's why I'm trying to keep the eyesight out.
We're kicking the uke.
Tracy Kelly says this tire is going to finish ahead of me.
And no,
she wedges it under the blue bus.
Oh, we got a tire pop, Caleb. We popped a tire.
What?
Not the uke tire, but one of the tires on that bus.
Oh, that wheel on the bus is no longer going round and round.
No, it does not. And the buses have come to we're still
Railroad
racing.
crossing.
Now, see, I could win this bus race. This bus race, I might be able to be okay in.
But what if the wheel on your bus is going flap, flap, flap?
I'd run it.
I think
that tire doesn't know that it doesn't have
did
any more
everyone
air
get
in
in
it?
Did everyone get in the bus tonight and see that this bus stops at railroad crossing and this GPS monitored max 30 miles an hour and everyone believed that? Well, kudos to Skylar Cruz, who is still technically racing.
We're watching this view here on the right side of your screen as this bus still has a tire wedged underneath it.
He says, hello, Tarrant One Club. And there, Becky Vincent running away in the the Vincent Racing pencil. which has gotten a little bit. We've lost part of the eraser as this year has gone on, and
Dave Boutel and the Cascade Push Truck Association could outrun that bus at the moment.
Yep. Well,
even with his broken rear end.
He's still bussing as we're on board with Chad Capps, and
Skylar Cruz has not been able to get by the extra tire that he picked
I
up
think
somewhere.
Chad Cap just waved at
who?
Well,
Skylar
he
Cruz.
definitely pointed at
Oh.
Skylar Cruz. And Chad looks like slowing and stalling there a little bit. The 007. I was really hoping to get to see how much.
No. You missed it. They just made a J. Van Buskirk Van Bus sandwich.
Oh.
Yes.
That's the best kind of sandwiches.
It's 2 feet
I think
long.
that was
It's piled
Chad
with
Cap-
13.
that's why
it's
Chad
Caps.
Caps
Okay.
is-
It's piled with 13 meats and cheeses.
Well, so
And
I
will
was
destroy you.
I was really hoping to get to watch Chad Capps wheel and see how much he's having to correct.
Oh, we got the
any
white flag,
scrubbing
by the way.
speed.
Oh,
okay. One to go.
JD.
Oh, that was.
Dude,
I think that might have been.
Oh, but Van Buskirk runs over you side by side with Capps. This is
Brandy
bus
throwing the
racing
white.
at its finest. Chad Capps, J. Van Buskirk, leaning the buses on each other because the buses have no other choice
One bus
but
got
to lean.
Yeah, one bus got extra wheels. One doesn't have nearly enough. This is fantastic. And we'll get a checkered flag, and that's Angie Dietz? Sure.
Well, no, I think it's for Becky Vincent.
Okay, all right. So
It's for someone.
Vincent wins? Vincent wins.
That
Good
sounds
enough.
right.
All right. Second was somebody. Third was somebody. Let's talk to them all on the podium.
Tracy got out there in the Vic Brothers bus. What was it like to climb behind the wheel of one of our chaotic little beasties?
It's been a lot of years since I've been in a figure eight school bus. It's been 26 years. It was very fun.
So I believe you are the one who managed to shove that tie underneath Skylar Cruz's bus. Any things to say to him after that?
Well, sorry, but you didn't give me a lot of room.
Hey, fair enough. Who would you like to thank for having some fun out here?
The track for putting it on, giving us buses to race. My husband, Brandy Hood Promotions, Vic Brothers Racing. Everybody, we enjoyed it. So much fun. Thank you.
Driver the number 25, Tracy Kelly, your third place finisher in the bus race. I know you were excited to get the opportunity to climb behind the wheel of the struggle bus. What was that like?
It was terrifying. It really was.
Have you ever driven anything on the racetrack before?
No, that's the rest of my family's job. I'm moral support. That's it.
Well, you look like you had a ton of fun out there. Who would you like to thank for getting that opportunity?
Well, I would like to obviously thank Jake and Mackenzie for letting me take their bus. So Reppin, Welding, and Rail. Tonight was also my works employee night. So all my work family was here, Handy in the Valley. And I think that's it. Just all my friends that hang out with me.
Second place, part of the number 45 struggle bus in the bus race, Angie Dietz Woolery. Now you got to have some fun out there behind the wheel of the pencil. What was it like piloting it all around?
It was the most fun I've ever had.
Make you consider hopping behind the wheel of a super stock with Chevy and Sheridan?
Oh God, no. That's too serious. This is just fun.
Hey, it was worth a shot to ask. Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank my husband for letting me drive, Chevy, Crimson, Aunt Heidi, and everybody for just being here to watch.
Driver the number 43 pencil bus. Give it up for Becky Vincent, winner of the bus race.
And with that, the final race of Home Track Heroes season number 6 in the book, guys. Hey, 3-man booth. It was an adventure today.
That
Derek,
was.
good job on the race. Well done, sir. That took some bravery. Guys, great job on the show. Great job as Evergreen Speedway's official hosts this year up in the grandstands as well. There's nothing like seeing races live, and I would encourage everybody to come out and listen to us on race day and listen to you guys have a good time and enjoy everything that is Evergreen Speedway.
100%.
Could not agree more.
I want to give a special thank you out there to all the guys on our Seattle 11 crew. And first, Seattle 11, thank you for our 6 years here on Home Track Heroes. We hope we continue on and on, as well as Alply Roofing for making it happen as well. Of note, our production team and camera operators, including but not limited to Emily, Griff, Angie, Quentin, Natalie, Rachel, Jasper, Zayden, and Derek. You guys, absolute rock stars from Thank you, Doug and Tracy, for trusting us to bring the show and bring it on the air. Appreciate you guys very much. For all the on-air talent, Ben White, Frank Mirabelli, Kyler Hope, Chad Fitzpatrick, Ben, Derek, Cole Sorensen, our favorite Canadian announcer coming down. The schedule comes out in a few months. Check out the website, evergreenspeedway.com, and your social medias. Don't forget to wear your pink here in the month of October. It's Breast Cancer Awareness. And guys, thank you so much for the great season. From what started as a little show during COVID, 6 awesome years. I'm Caleb Hart. Hope we see you for Season 7 coming up in the spring. Home Track Heroes.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.